All right. So we got a special one for you today. You know, I don't do a lot of podcasts, but when I do a podcast, it's for a reason. And on today's episode, man, we're going to do something that I've been looking forward to. I met Narceiss, 3, 4 years ago, something like that. I always told him he had potential to do something in the market. And I mean, at this point, I don't even want to do the talking. I'm just going to let you do it, man. So let the people know why you're here. What did you do with the funded FTMO account?
Yeah, so I had a funded account, FTMO. I had two of them, two of 200,000, and I merged them, so it made like 400,000, and I was able to get like $166,000 of it in a space of 1 month. And I was the
Ooh.
that being said, I was also the like best trader of the month. Like on the leaderboard, I was number one for the whole month of
Yeah,
April.
I saw that you were on the leaderboard for a good amount of April out of all
Yeah,
the accounts in
exactly.
the company.
Yeah, I
Yeah, man.
dominated it.
So just in case they didn't hear you clearly, $166,000 is what you made in less than a month.
Exactly, 166.000. Like that,
Have you
yeah.
ever done have you ever done anything like that before?
And never, like, how should I make it? Like, never. Only trading can bring me such amount of money. Otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah, man. So okay, so let's begin here. Now that they know what you've done, right? And now that they understand that you're somebody to listen to because you have an experience in this that a lot of people just dream about. Let me know about you. Like
Yes,
where are you from? Anything you want to say,
exactly.
anything about
So I will
you.
start just. I will tell my journey. Right now, I'm living in Belgium. I'm from Belgium. I'm living in Belgium,
Hmm.
born and raised. I started trading 5 years ago when I was still working with Audi, the car company. I was working
Yeah.
at that manufacturer. I was like building cars with them, just the normal jobs. And I was, my idea was working 1 year there. I wasn't planning to work like my whole life there. I was planning to work like for 1 year there because in Belgium, if you work for 1 year in a company, you get like monthly payments, without having
Okay.
to work. And I was planning to do that because I was trying to go like working for myself. I was trying to make to be an entrepreneur. So with that
Uh-huh.
money being sent to me monthly, I could just concentrate myself on what I wanted to do. So yeah, I stopped after 1 year and I was looking what to do. And a friend of mine posted trading, and I asked him questions about it, like how do you do it, this and that. And he just told me like, if you're really interested in it, I will send you one website, read it all, and come back to me. And so I did. Like he sent me like the website Baby Pips. I
Oh,
read it
baby
all.
pips. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I read it all in like 3 months. It took me 3 months to read it all. And after that, I went back to him, and then he started to like introduce me to the trading, showing me how strategics and all these things. But I wasn't really feeling it. After that, I just went on my own and built my own strategy with like different courses that I found on the internet. I just made one thing of it, and then
Yeah.
I saw like your group, and that was like the end of the looking. You know,
Yeah.
it's
So let
not
me ask
because
you,
you.
how long ago was that where you started it?
Yeah, yeah. I started like 5 years ago, and 2 years later, so like 3 years ago from now, I learned you. I met Zapz Trading. I don't even know how.
You don't
I
know
don't
how
even
you
know.
found me? A lot of people don't know how they found me. It was like an accident.
Yes, I can remember. And when I found you, you were doing like um, promotion on your subscription.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
I just had to pay like 50 euros because I was the first of the three people who commented on the YouTube video you made.
Oh, I remember that.
Exactly, exactly.
Oh, wow, I remember that. No, that was because in the beginning I always do the same thing. I make it real easy for people to join, but as time goes on and I prove a concept or I get results out of people, I start raising that price up. So you got in early.
Exactly, I got in early, like, and for me, it was like the end. Like how you speak, the way you explain everything, the way you like, yeah, you being a mentor actually. Day
Yeah,
in, day
thank you,
out,
man.
like having that is like priceless. It's really priceless.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's one of my things that I tell people that I treat people the way that I wish I would have been treated when I got into this industry. I was in this industry for a while, but I'm not the type to really say anything until I have to, and it's difficult. It's difficult to find back then there was no YouTube videos, there was no Instagram videos,
Yes.
you know. It was more so like I would watch like these Russian guys on YouTube that I barely understood what was going on, and of course like books and things like that. But um my whole thing with the mentorship and the community has been make it accessible, you know, financially, make it accessible, and then also show up. And I don't think it's that hard to do, but I wish more people would do it. Um,
Yeah, exactly. You are doing something that's nobody is doing. Like nobody in the market is doing what you are doing. You
I
know,
appreciate that, man.
and how you do it, like you can clearly tell that you do it with a heart, like with your corazon, your heart, like
Yeah.
day in day out, you there. No excuses, nothing. You really, really there. Like,
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really
uh,
do. Well, I mean, it's a lot easier when you know the students are actually paying attention and it's for a reason, right? It's
exactly.
all for a reason. All right, so you were working at Audi. You knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur. You knew
Yeah.
that, you know, I think a lot of the stories are the same where people my story is similar. I had a good life, you know, a life where people would be like, "Oh, you know, he's comfortable." But something was missing. Like it just wasn't for me to be in corporate America. Like I tell everybody, I used to be in a good mood at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and then my feet would hit the marble floors of the World Trade Tower. That's where I used to work. And once my feet would hit the floor, I would feel miserable. Like I knew it immediately. It was something about getting to that place that I just couldn't take it. So I made a promise to myself that I would, no matter what, I would focus on something else that was my own. And somehow, some way, all these years later, we're here now.
You got
So,
into
all right. So you when you started trading, right? You said
it.
that you spent 2 years kind of mixing and matching strategies.
Mhm.
If you can, obviously the answer is if you could have found me the first month, you would have done that, right? But that's the obvious answer. But if you could have done those 2 years over again, what would you have done differently?
Um, I don't think I would have done anything differently. Like how like I'm like really really proud of what I've done. You know how I went to there. Yes, one thing I would have done differently is like trading demo, starting with demo.
Mm.
That for sure. Like starting with demo. Like I
What do
didn't
you
do.
want? Do you want to share why why that is?
Yeah, exactly. Because I blew a lot of accounts, but for me also, like when I blew an account, it was for me like a learning lesson because I was thinking in a way like each account that is blown, it's a lesson that I pay, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
pay the price to be better, you know. So if I blow 1,000, I blew it in a certain way. So that will not happen anymore, or it will be less likely to happen in the future, you know.
Yes.
Still, it will not happen anymore.
Smart.
So
Bro,
yes,
how old are you? I don't think I asked you that. How old are you?
no, I'm 27. I'm 27
Okay.
years old. Yeah.
So you're, I'm telling you, man, I've worked with a lot of people. You got a good head on your shoulders.
Thank
Smart
you.
guy, man. There's no accidents here. There's a reason why you made $166,000 in the market, man. That's smart. That's a good answer. I was looking for something like that, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, because I just covered in the community. When you go in the community and you go into the main channel, you're going to see a video of somebody who lost $30,000 in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And I tell people all the time, I understand that out there in the trading world, people will tell you to deposit, you know, oh, I never demoed. Those are things like I'll never demo. Well, you don't even know if they're live right now, you know? A lot of the things that people teach out there, it's hard to trust what they're saying. It's hard to trust their journey because there's no proof that they actually are doing what they say they're doing. So they set people up for failure with these extreme deposits. And this person could have, like you did, just gotten funded, right? Spent a one-time fee and boom, make money. Or
Yeah.
they could have started with a small account and grown the account. Or maybe they could have done a strong deposit, but when it was time to actually use that money intelligently, not just burn it and let it fall right back into the market. Too many stories of people losing a lot of money that they couldn't afford to lose. Like I tell people all the time, if you have to drop a credit card in there or do something like that, you're doing it wrong and you should find somebody to guide you
Mm,
and tell you what to do.
it is.
Um, all right, so you obviously had a long journey. 5 years is a pretty good amount of time to be patient. You've had some success in between, but
Yes.
what do you think clicked for you this time? What do you? Obviously, the market was volatile, which was also interesting that you were able to hold it together for that much time, hold these entries over the weekend. what was some of the reasons that you were able to navigate what was a very turbulent market
Mhm.
and also keep yourself calm with all these numbers that you've never seen before? You worked at Audi, so I highly doubt you had $30,000 just floating around at all times, you know? So what were the things that you did what were the things that clicked for you to keep you calm, keep you smart, and make this happen for you?
It is the bigger picture. Just
The
looking at
big
the big picture, because I'm a strong believer that I don't use fundamentals when I trade. Yeah, I don't advocate it. I don't say like nobody should do it. Like
Yeah.
if I could do it, I would have done it. But I just like started technically, and for the whole 5 years I've done it. So yes, I'm a strong believer that the price in the market is already priced in.
Yeah.
So strong events or the news release, it will only push the price at a faster rate to where it should be.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
by
familiar. Sounds familiar.
exactly. So looking at the bigger picture, like I had a clue like of where I wanted the market to go, and it exactly did what I thought it would be doing. So that is what
Okay.
kept me alive in these type of markets.
So do you want to share some of the conversations that me and you had when you first started running strong on because you were live, you were on your personal accounts
Yes,
and
it
you were
is.
also funded. So we don't need to talk about everything you made, but we're just going to stick to the FTMO part, right? But it's what were the conversations like if you want to share some of that?
Um, I can't really remember. Like we have a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
We have really, really a lot of conversations. But yeah,
So I remember one of them where I was basically begging you to slow it down, right? For the love of God, slow it down because you were doing a lot at once. And I think what people don't realize is that at some point you're in a flow state. And if your flow state is not highly trained, you're going to make mistakes, right? So that's the whole point. I personally believe that when the money's really on the line or when the pressure is really on, the worst version of you is going to come out, right? The automatic version of you is going to come out, and that needs to be a highly trained version. So since I know you've only been doing this for 5 years, and I knew 100% that this was like the first time you've ever experienced anything at this level, it was time to be in your ear, right, and kind of whispering like, "Hey, look, listen, you need to think about these numbers. You need to be taking profit." I even warned you about kind of how the funding companies work. They want to pay you out, but they also have limitations to how much they're willing to let you do. So, let me ask you this: you made $166,000. You had two deposits, right? Two very strong deposits, and but it didn't go perfectly because you could have made more money, right?
I could have made more money. Yeah,
Yeah. So I know you said you wanted to talk about this because you wanted to, help future traders understand
exactly.
what is the mistake. You still made your money, you still did your thing, but now you have to evaluate again. You have to do it again, right?
Exactly.
Because they knocked you out of the accounts that you had, which is it happens, right? The market was highly volatile. There were a lot of things going on, and you made a mental error. Again, it speaks to the fact that you're still, in my eyes, kind of new. Like 5 years is a long time,
In
but
my eyes too.
yeah, but there's so much to learn in this space, and people. That's why I find it ridiculous when somebody who's been trading for 2, 3 years has only had a couple of months of results, barely, and then they're already teaching others and telling people what to do. It's you're setting them up. You're setting them up for a trap because they're gonna live things you've never done. But what is the mistake and the thing that you want to warn people about?
Um, like to protect yourself at all times, and to like be aware of like market gaps. Like the markets can have like big gaps, especially around this time. Like I've been gapped a lot in this period. Like you was telling, like I started with two accounts.
Yeah.
One got blown because I was in a trade, but I didn't like close it before the market closure. And what happened? The market opened with a big gap, so my account got blown, and FTMO just stopped the collaboration because of that. You know. So yeah, protecting yourself and taking profits at all time. Because the market is there. The market will not go anywhere. you will always make money. It's even though if the market makes 1,000 pips today and you're not in on it, that's no problem, because it will happen again in another time. Or like just like having patience,
Yeah.
patience to fail you. Yeah. Having patience in like just waiting for the right setup, and having patience like, with the amount of money you are earning. Like
Yeah.
you can, because with the market you can make like 10,000 right now, but you can also lose it.
Yeah.
So when you make money like partial, take a little piece of it out of the markets and place your stop loss like a little lower, or like at break even, like you say always. And yes, then just let it be. And if it take you out, it take you out. Wait, be patient again, and just wait for the right setups.
It's funny. I'm over here smiling because I could hear all the things that I tell you guys in what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
You're
Because I'm a product, like to say it like that. My English is not so good, but
yeah.
the words that I have to say it is like I'm a product of what you are doing. So I'm
Yes, yes.
so,
It's funny. It's awesome. It's awesome, man.
yeah.
I people always ask me like, why do I teach? I mean, I don't really talk about how much I make. I find it at some point I find it ridiculous to always be talking about how much you make. I get it. Some people like doing that, but I like a different route. The way that I built the brand is by talking about my students, right? Because that's the product. That's what proves concept that this education is actually valuable. And one of the
Mhm.
reasons that I really like teaching is stuff like this, that you had a positive impact on somebody. And with time, you're probably going to pass on that information to somebody else. So I feel like you're actually making a change instead of just being just what everybody else is, which is, hey, come make money over here, and 9 out of 10 people fail. So
Exactly. A lot of
um, I,
a lot of my friends actually ask me like, why don't you make a group? Like, why don't you do that, this and that?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
like, I've been only trading 5 years, and like you told, like 5 years is not enough. Even though I'm making these numbers, I'm feeling the markets. I only
yeah.
trade US 30, but I'm feeling the markets. I see this, but I know like I have still a lot to learn in the markets.
I think for some people it doesn't make as much sense as they think. I know that people think it's an easy money grab, but to make a group, but it's not as easy as it looks. People's groups die out. Nobody lasts 10 years like I have, right? 7 years teaching people in the group, or 10 years teaching people one on one. Like, this is a long amount of time to be around in something, doing the same thing. And I'm not the flashiest person. I'm like very results based. So I just I think that people see these groups and they think it's so easy to grab people's money. People have gotten smarter, and at the end of the day, I feel like you'd be robbing from yourself, because what are the chances that your group is going to make $160,000, $50,000? Not right away. So you're going to be taking up that time to create something. You got to understand that also in your perspective, most people who create groups, they're not making $160,000 in the market. They're making something and they want more supplemental income. So I think your mentality is correct. When it's time, right? But teaching
Yes,
people is not that easy, man.
yes. It's
Um,
also, it takes a lot of responsibilities, because if
yeah,
I send out a trade, like if I send out a trade and like people be losing money because I send them the trades, I will
yeah,
not feel well. I will try. I will get in an emotional state. It might get me in an emotional state, like have willing to revenge trade to prove to the group that I'm a good trader.
yes.
So yes,
You got to be in control. Like I tell the
exactly.
community, it's funny because I speak in a certain way. It's very, very New York. People tell me all the time it's New Yorker, it's very American. And it's funny because I'll say things like, because we're not a signal service. That's what people don't understand. People think that we're a signal service. We're an educational service where I tell you what I'm doing in the market through like a journaling style, right? And what happens is you guys watch the content and you decide if you want to follow along or at least learn from the situation, right? That's the whole goal behind it. But I always tell people what I'm doing is what I'm doing. And if you don't like, for example, if you want to be jumping around in the market or taking unnecessary trades or trading on a Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time when the market's almost closed, that's your business. But I'm going to trade in my way and I'm going to show you what it looks like to do it right. People, like, obviously your friends would much rather gravitate towards a signal service, but why is it that you think that what we do is better than going to get signals?
Because you learn it on your own too. Getting signals. It's if you're on a certain service, it causes your brain to not function. Your brain is doing nothing. You're just
Yeah,
getting information, but you don't know where the information is coming from. You know how they got to that price to sell or to buy. You know, and with the group with the Zapz education platform, like you really know like what it is, like how you got to that price, you know, how you're seeing the markets, the way you're looking at the markets, the way you should like anticipate a price. Like you get it all with you. With the senior service, you get like nothing, you know.
Yeah, I always say it's like inputting data. Like if a signal service is basically they gave you a screenshot, some light reason as to why you should be doing this,
Mm-hmm.
and then you input the data into your phone or your computer, or you don't.
Yeah,
And I feel like you're missing all these opportunities to actually learn what the hell is going on, right? And in the community, what do I always tell you? We live the moment when we prepare, right? So we prepare for the trade through the updating and the journaling, and then the trades are being taken, so they're being updated day to day, and then eventually they get recapped. So you live one moment three times, and that is, in my opinion, how you get somebody to really understand before, during, and after.
definitely.
The problem is most people can't do that, right? They'll expose themselves after this many years in this many style markets. They will expose themselves on whether or not they know what they're doing, right? Because you can't get away with the bullshit in this space. All right, so we know how much you've made. Again, I'm gonna say it, 166,000, right? We know that you're gonna reevaluate with FTMO because you messed up with one of the accounts, right?
Exactly.
So, but it's all good. It happens. Again, 5 years, first time seeing that type of money. I think most people would make a mistake here and there. The thing with funding companies is that some of those rules, man, they're there for a reason. They're there to get you.
But to be,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So you said something. You were trading for 2 years and then you joined the community. What do you feel like you had to unlearn when you first joined? What was the things that you felt were stuck out to you the most that this is pretty different here?
um, Taking multiple trades a day, even after a loss, you know,
Yeah.
getting just in trades and getting on different type of trades, you know, not because I might have an account of 1,000 euros, but I will take a trades on gold, on US 30, on whatever there is, but not moderating the risk, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and not taking profits when I'm in profits. So
How do you take profits now? I know the answer,
yes.
but what do you, if you want to share with somebody out there who's struggling trader, what what is your idea of profit taking and taking trades? Like ideally speaking, how do you want the trade to go?
If I take a trade, like I put my stop loss at 50 pips,
Uh-huh.
and and like I'm looking for the trade to go like 50 pips in profits,
Okay.
between 30 and 50 pips in profits, for me to take like the first partial. And the first partial, most of the time, it is like just 50% of my position. I take it out, you know.
There you go. And you
Yeah,
know what? A lot of people don't understand why that's so effective. One, it allows you to one, profit out so your emotion comes down. Two, it allows you to let the trade play out. So sometimes you fall like you did. You fall into like a home run, into a big moment. You don't know the market's going to move that way, but you're there for it just in case it does. And also it teaches that the market does the work for those big trades. It's not you, right? Being super accurate 100% all the time. It's just that you're putting yourself in positions where if this happens, I'm actually going to be there for it, even if it's I don't know, you started at 10 standards or a standard and now you're at 50, you're 50% lower. It doesn't matter because the whole game is about percentage gains. I call
exactly.
it a position of power. I want to have some sort of emotional cushion here, especially if I'm only in this for a couple of years, because everything is going to make me nervous. Every milestone, every new level is going to increase my emotions. So I have to build something where it's pretty much automated what I do. And I love the way you explained it. I set my stop loss. I have a target for profit taking. I do all that and I let the rest play out on its own, right?
All right.
It's beautifully said, man. All right. So I wanted to ask you, okay, when people make a certain amount of money, right? Like it's a number. It's like a number that triggers them and they go, wow, I can't believe I did this. What was that like? You had it in two parts. So when you got the first 50,000, what was it, 60,000 or something? I don't even know how it went, man. But when you got that first almost $60,000,
Mhm.
what did you feel at that point, and what was it like when you followed it up with even more? What was going on through your mind, and when it was all over, how do you feel? Run me through the whole thing.
Like, it happened. It was on a Friday. I remember it was on a Friday, and I saw the trade breaking structure. Breaking the trend line, and I took it, and it just went right away. At the end, I closed it, and I just like was like, okay, I was I didn't want to get myself hyped up because
Yeah.
I knew like I have like weeks coming, days coming, and I want to trade. So like I just had to calm myself. I wasn't just hyped up. Even right now with all the money made, I'm not hyped up. I just put the money aside. I've used like I took only 20,000 of that money to do the daily things, but the
Yeah.
rest I put it aside to like plan and see what I will do in the future with it. But right now I'm just like staying calm because I'm still in the moment, in the moment of
Yeah.
euphoria.
You
I
still
want to,
feel that way?
exactly. I need to eliminate that to be able to like start to be happy, not to be happy, but start to like realize what I've made and to use it. Because why I feel that I'm still in that moment of euphoria um, is because I've made I've with the money I've made, I've started a couple of new like fund accounts, but I blew them because I went like high risk. I wanted to make
Yeah.
the same, but the market condition is not the same anymore. So
Yes. Thank you.
yes, I
So
want to make the same. So I needed to withdraw myself from it and to like just um, yes, I cannot get to the word.
so obviously what's going on now is that you like you said, perfectly beautifully said, you're in a state of euphoria still. You did lose the account because you got gapped in the market. I don't know if we explained that earlier, but that's what happened. You got gapped in the market. You took a risk. It's understandable, right? Why you took that risk, and then because of the rules set in by FTMO, they killed the account, right? So you're gonna have to get another one. You jumping into it again right now, anybody in their right mind, anybody would go, you know what? I need to get back to where I was, and you're forcing the situation. Nobody wants to trade for free, and that's what you have to do when you evaluate. So I get it. It's understandable. It is the right play. I would have given you. I think I did give you that advice.
Mm-hmm.
I I personally believe that after a big win, you should go make it real. What that means is you should go spend some of the money. Also, the tax, I don't know about Belgium, but the tax situation, right? Understand what that looks like. I believe in positions of power. And how do you gain positions of power? Information. So you're new to a situation. You need to start acquiring information. How do I feel? Right? What do I need to do? What can happen with this money? Who do I need to avoid right now? Stuff like
Agree.
that.
Agree.
So it is the right play.
Yes.
Um, when you do decide to get funded again, I think what you need to think about is I have fast forwarded my goals so much in just a month. It's okay if I take a little time to just grow slowly back to where I was. There's not a big deal. Now, if you stay in that high energy, I need to get this back right now mentality, you're going to give some of that back for no reason, right? And like you said earlier, you wish you didn't spend all that money in the beginning. You wish you would have done demo in the very beginning of your career. This is a similar situation just from a profitable perspective. You don't want to think about maybe 3 months on the line why I spent 10K for no reason. You know, you could just when you only really need one, you have the skill to be able to just acquire the funded accounts all over again. So I do want to throw this out here. We're not really talking about your live accounts. We're going to keep that to ourselves. But your live, you do trade live and also funded.
I do trade live and phone it also.
Which one do you prefer?
Right now, I do prefer my Finite accounts, even
Yeah,
though I'm limited in certain ways, but I do prefer like Finite accounts.
yeah,
I'm coming back to that, what you were saying of that position of power. It
yeah,
gave me that feeling to be in power, like um, I'm putting 1,000 euros into the fund account to get like 16 times more because how I think of it is like in euros my account is like 160,000 instead of 200,000, but I will explain it in dollars. Like
yeah,
I invest with FTMO, I invest $1,000 to get an account of 200,000, but my max drawdown, my max loss is set at 20,000 euros. So for me, how I think is like I put 1,000 to get an account of 20,000, not of 200,000, to get an account
Yes.
of 20,000, you know. And yes, with that I just trade, and it feels better to trade with that money than with my money, because with my money I'm more emotional, you know.
Yes, yes. It's the 5 year thing. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um all right, man. So
So,
look, we covered a lot of the good points. So I think I wanna ask you some of the technical perspectives here. If you had to recommend to a beginner, obviously you're gonna recommend from the perspective of joining the community, I imagine. But what would you say they should be focusing on? Give me give me an emotional thing they should focus on with their trading. Give me a technical thing, right? So maybe like a chart tool or instrument, and also give me a piece of advice for the beginner, right? So where should their emotions be in the beginning? What should they focus on as far as technicals, and maybe a piece of advice?
um, that of emotion, I don't understand it very well.
So
Like,
what I mean is expectations, or how should they look at trading when they first join? It's day one. What should their expectations be? What should their emotional connection to it be? Because you know what a lot of people do is they start day one and they're like, oh, this is easy money. I'm
yes,
gonna make $10,000. I'm gonna make
they
you know
should
so,
expect to lose money. You know, the money they put on the market, it's money that it's not yours anymore. You know,
yeah.
so you should expect that, and with that energy, you should like um, go to the markets with that energy. You know. Um,
Do you feel that how long should a person demo so that that doesn't happen?
it depends from person to person, you know, because I'm a hard learner. So like for me, it will take like more time to learn. But for some people, like they make a mistake and they learn it right away. So for them, it can be 1 year. But for me, like I need like more times for it. So for me, it depends from person to person.
That's interesting that you said you're a hard learner and you know that about yourself.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you know it's going to take longer for you to, and it's not an intelligence thing. It's just that you maybe are a little stubborn, especially with money, right?
Yes, I'm not disciplined enough. You know.
Ah,
Yes,
see, that's beautifully said. There we go. For people listening to this, that is the major key. That's what I was looking for. Discipline, right? You have to have basically no emotions in this space. You have to, and that's not easy to ask somebody to do when we all run on emotions every single day. Shutting it off when you're trading and doing what he said, which is, the money that goes in the market is the market's now until you take it out. And trades, once they're in, they're in. It's over. This is not easy to do. It's easy to say, not easy to do. Everybody out there just says the same things over and over, but how do you get that done? And if you've been listening to him, the way he thinks about the management, the plan that he has in his mind, that's how you get that done. Also, the fact that he understands himself, right? Most people do not. He understands that I'm stubborn, all right, the connection to money, it's going to take me a little longer to make mistakes. So it is in my best interest. If you're like that, for example, you're a little bit of a gambler, maybe you're a little fearful of the dollar. There are many different profiles, personality types that exist. What you should be doing is demoing, right? Getting all those mistakes out. Or, like, I wasn't a big demoer, low risk accounts, right? Money that I always say you're going to go out with your friends and you're going to burn a couple of $100 drinking and partying, right? You're going to go do this and you're going to burn $1,000 on like a trip or something. If you put that in the market, you shouldn't be so emotionally attached to it because you spend money like this all the time. And that's exactly where most people should begin. They should begin either demoing or very low risk accounts. What about on
exactly.
the technical side? What do you
Um,
think a person should focus on? Oh,
I
what were you
also
going to
want
say?
to I also want to add on, like with I was talking about the 20,000. Like you put 1,000 in FTMO and you get 20,000 for 200,000 accounts. The max allocation they gave FTMO is 400,000. So actually you have 40,000 euros that you are trading with, 40,000 dollars that you are trading with. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Having that on FTMO or having that on a real account, it's like different. On a real account, 40,000, if you lose that, like that's crazy money. But with FTMO, if you lose that, you have only lost like 2,000. And maybe you have already got your 2,000 back. So you are only like, you lost nothing, you know? So that's always also the main reason for FTMO.
Yeah. No,
And
that I love that you know yourself, man. That you know how you
it is,
know what it is you need to do for yourself.
Exactly, because making the numbers with FTMO, it's like easy. I can make bigger numbers with FTMO than with my live account. It will have for my live account to be very big to be able to make the same numbers as I make with FTMO.
Yeah, man. So what about on the technical side? What do you think a beginner should focus on day one technically?
Support and resistance.
Just start there, right?
Yeah, just start there and add on stuff along the way. But support and resistance is really, really like to have a clear vision, with placing the lines at the support and the resistance at the right place. You have like a clear vision of what the market is doing and how the money is floating.
So in the community, what is your favorite technical aspect of what I do and what I teach?
How do you mean technical aspect?
So out of all the things that I teach on how to break the market apart, how to read the price, how to work the charts, what do you like the most out of the community?
Like when you have a support or resistance, and
Yeah.
like the structure, the market is showing like ascending structure in that channel,
Yeah.
in that area of support or resistance.
All the timing mechanisms.
Yes, it's showing like higher lows maybe.
Yeah.
On a resistance, it's showing higher lows, so it's likely to break it to the upside.
Yes.
You
What most
know
people would think, where most people would be looking for some sort of downturn or
exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
Because it's
So,
building momentum, building momentum up, so it's gaining more power to break like the
oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the breakout methodology styles.
yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
how I
Okay.
trade with the breakout methodology.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, in the community, I like to create concepts to make things memorable and make things easier for people to kind of pattern and be able to repeat over and over. So obviously, a lot of people do support and resistance. They do technicals, but I think what happens is people try to dumb it down to the point of like I look left, I see price, I take trade, something like that. But what they really need to think about is what's going on with price. What are the possibilities of like this trade? What are your expectations? Because sometimes trades are very simple. You look at a low, you see a low, you take a buy, and it's end of story. But what messes people up is how far can this trade really go with the way the market is moving, right? Maybe in the given range, it can only go 40, 50 pips. And then the person's trying to extend it to 70 pips, but there's no way that's going to happen. And then you know what happens afterwards because everybody's lived this. You take a 50 pip trade, then the market comes back, it goes up 30 pips. You're like, okay, let me see if I can get it back to 50 pips. And then it goes break even, and then it goes negative, and you're like, how the hell did that happen? You know? And you're in this cycle all the time. It's because you don't know how to read price, like thinking critically. You just read price as to like what price is doing. I personally believe that price is telling you a story. And look at the way you read US 30, right? US 30 was the main. Look at the way you read US 30, and obviously there was fundamentals attached to that. We knew what was going on, but your entry positions were insanity. Like the way you knew where to take those breakouts. And I wasn't on top of all those trades. So that's another thing. A lot of people think that I spoon feed some people. They think that I'm in their inbox going, "Hey, do this," because that we're friends or they're special to me or whatever. That's not true. I treat everybody the same. I show up every day. I speak to everybody through the community. But my whole goal is what you did, which is I had in the community, I talked about one or two of those entry positions you took, but you took a bunch of them, right?
Yes.
You took your knowledge, you used your knowledge that you've learned to just finish this thing off. You Mortal Kombat this thing. You just killed it. It was just dead on the floor. You just finished off US 30. It was beautifully done. Again, I'm gonna say it again. $166,000, man. Okay, so we're at the point now where you've made the $166,000. Like, what has ran through your mind as far as the possibilities for the future, right? Your dreams. Like, I mean, did you tell your parents, your loved ones? Like, what has that been like?
I told my close, my sister, my brother, my mother what
Uh-huh.
happened, and like they're happy for me, but also they're expecting like me to be doing more, but I, but I tell them that like the money that I've made is just the beginning, so like
Yeah.
you need to wait it out, and for me to make more, to be more in place, to be able to like to do other to be able to provide for them, you know.
Yes. Bro, you really do pay attention to the things I say, right? It's kind of funny how that I'm not a life coach, but I've lived all of this and I've made mistakes, and I wish I could have had someone to tell me like, hey, this is just the beginning. Don't think, because if you think that 166,000 is like it will be it. This is where you cap off. But this is actually for you, like I like to think of it, accelerated goals. You just accelerated your goals that much. You got there much quicker than you thought you were going to get. You're in a position of power, as I like to say. This is where you can keep getting more. And what was once a, think of it like normal stuff. Maybe at one point you were just thinking, you know what, I just need to make a couple of thousand a week and I'll be happy. Well, now that's really possible because now money is not really a concern to you at this moment. So this is where you, for the first time in a long time, you're just free to do what you have to do. And we've been discussing this in the community, right? Why do people say that the rich get richer? Right? It's something that you hear all the time. The rich get richer. It's probably because, they have connections and they keep everybody else out. I honestly think that, yes, those are legitimate reasons. But the other reason is there's no money pressure. So it's easier for me to just make money freely, let it sit there, let trades play out, let investments play out. It's easier for me to take risks because if I give you this XYZ amount of money, it's not going to make or break me, right? And because I can do that freely, just more it brings in more money. So it's more than just network and the rich get richer. It's also mentality. There, when you have, and I've experienced this I've experienced this in my life because I come from nothing. So once I started building some sort of wealth, it was easy for me to invest in like crypto because I have the money to do that. And then those are happy accidents. It's easy for me to hold gold since 2020. Like you've seen in the community how many entries I have on gold, right? It's just easier for me to do it because I don't really need this right now. So I'm going to let this play out. Now, what I see a lot of students do is they'll make 30,000 and the 30,000 is gone in a couple of weeks. And then they're back to trading how they were before they made the 30,000. So I feel like it's my job to warn people like this is the moment. This is not the moment, but a moment where you can take advantage of something. You can take advantage of your position of power and learn what it's like to live your life and make money and trade and do all these other things freely without pressure all the time. So it's beautifully done, man.
It really is.
So let's wrap it up with these last things. What would you tell someone who's on the fence of getting one-on-one coaching or joining the community with me? What would you tell them?
Yeah, to do it, like to do it without hesitation. Like to do it, it will give them like mental clarity while being in the market, because like being in the group, it gives you like mental clarity on a daily basis. Um, you might have the urge to do something stupid like to revenge trade, but like if you have watched like your a video of you of the day before,
Yeah.
it will not happen that fast because your voice is ringing in the head, you know.
Yeah, people say that. People's wives go, I'm tired of hearing it. All right. So it's funny. It's funny you bring that up. What about the fact that some people join the community and they feel a little overwhelmed because I am running at the speed of the market. So I'm always there, right? And sometimes in the beginning they don't expect that because they're so used to looking at a chart and just making believe they know what they see and taking a trade, right? There's no thought behind it. What do you think about the overwhelming feeling? Do you think that is it something that it'll go away? Is it something that's worth it? Or is it just this is what it is and you have to learn to live in it?
No, I believe it will go away. I believe like if you enter the group like today, you should
Hmm.
go like a month ago. You should go
Yeah.
to the information to the content you made a month ago and to start there and to like watch all the videos from a month ago till today, and then you will be able to like catch up and to know what's really happening. You know,
Yeah.
because if you like start hard away, you will not be you will be talking about something that you said in 2 3 videos ago, so if
Yeah.
you will not have the information right now, so you need to go to the past first and dig in the past to be able to understand what's happening right now in the community.
Yeah. When people first join, I tell them, look, what we have value all the way around. So what a lot of people don't understand is I show up every day. That's very rare in this space. So I basically treat it like a journal. Like I said, I treat it like I'm going to sit down. This is what I would do if you guys existed or not. I'm going to run through the charts. I'm going to give out my thoughts and I'm going to move forward. Right. So I do that every day. For a person who's new, the value is going to be in the beginner course and the advanced courses, right? And the quick hitter series and stuff like that. Those courses are where the value is for that person because they need to immerse themselves and get some knowledge in between the ears. Once they do that, the next step is the webinars, the power hours, the daily updating videos, right? The flash updates, so the visual updates, because now that is valuable to them because they can actually start to try to apply it on the chart. But I think people try to do everything at once and then they feel very overwhelmed. They try to get through the courses as fast as possible. That's why I don't let people join that are going to be there for 30 days or 60 days. Like, you can keep your money. I don't want it. It makes no sense. You're not going to be able to get anything out of this that way. This is, like you said, 5 years, right? 2 years of experimentation, 3 years of, you had some wins in the 3 years, but there were ups and downs. And this is basically your breakout moment. You had some moments, right? Some 10, 5-figure moments. You've had some moments in the past, but this is your first like knockout punch towards the chart.
It is. It really, really is.
All right. So I guess we'll leave it with this last question. Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? And the last question would be, where do you want to be in the last 5 years? And also any kind of last statements that you want to say before we call it.
I don't know if I want to make like money. If I want to start in the trading business, trading, it will be like more for on my own, like make investments to be able to be my own bank, if I can say like that. And besides that, I will just be like in real life, just going traveling the world and seeing where I can help, with work, building houses maybe, or like just placing my money everywhere, just connecting with people and knowing what's happening in the world by connecting with the people, by talking with people, and like just floating, flowing.
So I'm glad you brought that up. You obviously, trading is not your whole life. Like, people think this is all I do. I just sit here and stare at the screen. I have other investments that I never talk about, right? I obviously teach because I need to. Trading is not time consuming. It's not, once you know what you're doing, you're not spending 24/7 on this. You're not staring at a screen 24/7. So what do you do for fun? What do you do other than trading? What are your other interests? I know cars is a big thing for you, right?
Yeah, I will just first say something like you said. Trading is not it's not time consuming once you know what you're doing. It really, really is like that. And because it is like that, you will not feel accomplished when you make money on the markets, because like you made it so fast, so quick. You will not feel like you worked for it,
Yeah.
So that's why it's important, like to do other stuff. And what I do for the free time is like I go to the gym. I have a lot of passions. I want to learn new languages. I have my guitar here with which I'm trying to play with it. I have motorbikes. I just live the extreme life.
That's cool, man.
Snowboarding,
Cool.
skating, all the kind of things, all these kind of things. I just
People,
work on myself, really working on myself. That's what I really, really do. Like work on myself, on my skills, on my brain, with my body, with everything.
Man, I'm telling you, man, destined for greatness, bro. You're destined for greatness. All right. So, any last words? Anything you want to tell people?
Yes, that you always say like trading is a business. You should handle it like a business, but you should really do when how I understand it. When you say it, it's like when you have a business, you have like clients, you have like wholesalers, stuff like that. So you should make a story when you enter the market. It's not only buying and selling. It's buying when you should make a story when you win. You should say like you have like a big client. When you win less, you have got smaller clients. When you lose money, then it's just like you went to the wholesale to make an investment to be able to have new products to like sell again, and with that you will make money again. Like just make a story about it. With my English, it's like difficult to explain it, but
I fully understand what you're saying. Obviously, it's in a business you would never expect up, profit every single day. That would never happen, right? There's good days, there's great days, there's bad days. The whole point is if you have a business and you have a bad day or a bad week or customers were complex or orders didn't come in or maybe tariffs happened and now your products are a little more expensive so it's eating your profit up. It's part of business, right? But the whole point is what does it look like at the end of the year, at the end of the next year, at the end of the next year? And also in a business, you don't just do things. You have a business plan, you have input of data, analyze the data, you analyze your employees, you analyze your marketing, you analyze all these things. But in trading, what do people do? They just sit down, open, like I always like to say, they wake up in the morning, right? They scratch their ass, they go to the bathroom, they open their phone, and they start trading. That's not a professional approach. You're just doing things. No different than like you would go on YouTube, you know? People need to learn that this is a
It is,
skill.
yeah,
You
it
got to
is.
be professional about things. And also that doesn't mean like I have 5 monitors and 3 different computers and 3 different internets. Let them know what you use.
I have like a Samsung ultra wide, like
Mhm.
49-inch screen.
Yeah.
I have my laptop, you know.
Yeah.
Most of the time, there's anything, just my wide screen, so I have like a wide vision of the markets,
Yeah.
the support and resistance. But other than that, not really anything. You know, my
Yeah.
laptop is for if I'm abroad. I have my laptop because that's a wide screen. I cannot take it everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
But it's an accessible system by anybody. Could you have done it on your phone? Probably also.
Yeah, I could, but I don't want to do it because, like you say, it then it will create the pattern of like it's just like you go on Instagram, you place a like, you know, you go
Yes.
you go on your friend, you go on your broker's account, you take a trade.
This guy
It's like the
listens,
same.
man. This guy listens.
It's like the same process, and your brain don't see the difference. You know, your brain just see you go on the phone, you go on the app, and you click a button.
Yes.
When you go on the market, it will process the same. Like it will be easy for you to go on the phone, go on the market, click a button without even knowing what's happening.
Yes. When you use everybody uses their phone, and I understand it's easier. And of course, but I look at the phone as a management tool. But all the hard work, it's kind of like like watching through a camera or surveilling something. You're just managing it. But inevitably, what we need to do here is we need to sit down at the computer, write our stuff out, journal, think about our trades before we even take them. That's hard to do on the phone because of exactly what you said. We're all trained to look at the phone as a tool of entertainment, right? Or information, but it's still some people actually like getting informed. So it is at the end of the day ultimately entertainment and consumption of content. It's very just scroll, scroll, scroll. It's very dopamine heavy, and you don't want that in your trading. That's the opposite of what you want. And I'm glad you said it. You have a laptop and a screen. You could have done it with just a laptop. And the screen is just an extra luxury, right? For you to be able to see everything nice and wide and see everything you need to see. So I think that if people actually took it more seriously and put themselves in positions of taking it more seriously as they would a business, they would do better. But of course, it's much easier to just, as I say, shoot from the hip, aka gamble. It's much easier to do stuff like that. It's much easier to not even try and go, it doesn't work. It doesn't try. I didn't try. So your ego feels okay, right? Your feelings aren't hurt because you didn't really try. So, but people don't understand how much. Look at you, right? In the beginning, you probably didn't know where you were going to land. You didn't know how it was going to go. Everybody has dreams, but you don't we don't know how it's going to land. And look at us now. Look at you now. $166,000 later, plus everything else, being top of FTMO. This is a big deal, man. So, any final words? Any last things you want to say?
Now I have a question for you actually,
Yeah.
because like I've had a couple of friends which I started trading, or a couple of people I know who traded like at the same time as I. But what I see is they are. I don't want to speak like big of myself, but I really see with the information I'm getting from them that they are not on the same level as me.
There's no
And
problem with that. It's the truth.
yes, but I don't really know what to do, because like when I talk with them, I want to
Hmm.
tell them things, but they don't listen. They think they know it better, but
Yeah.
the truth always comes, and they see like, okay, yeah, I was right, but like they don't. Yes, it's
So, we got to remember that, especially, listen, I'm going to get a little psychological here. Especially with men, you have an issue of ego. And even though you've done more than them in the market, they still look at you as who you were. But if they listen to this podcast like anybody else, they're going to hear something. It's your mindset. It's the fact that your mind has grown. You understand yourself. There's no ego in your trading. And you've gained enough experience to know that there is no right and wrong in this. As far as like the trading, it's only how you approach it. You're the one who controls right and wrong in your own actions, not the market winning or losing. For a lot of people that I've met in this space, it's a gambling event for them. And they don't want to be wrong about the thing that they've been doing for months and months and years and years. It's hard for you to go like you did. For 2 years, you were doing something, and then you joined the community and you said, shit, I don't really know what I'm doing. You have to admit to yourself that what I've been doing and what I've been stern about and what I said works doesn't actually fucking work. And that's not easy to do because you're ripping your ego apart there. For your friends, I would say, have they ever actually seen results out of the way that they think and the way that they approach things? If the answer is no, maybe it's time to start thinking at a higher level, right? Start thinking in a different way. Start listening to people who are doing better than you and dropping your ego out of the situation. I know it sucks. Yeah, I know it sucks for people when, like, for example, Narceiss, we grew up together. We played basketball together. We played soccer together. And now this guy's trying to tell me what to do. I know this guy. You know Narceiss as a person. You don't know Narceiss as a trader. Two different people. That's like me. I am who I am outside of the space. I joke around. You know me. I joke around and stuff like that. But it's like a switch. When it's time for business, when it's time for entrepreneurship, mentorship, trading, I'm a different person. I know I am, and it's been said to me because, for example, out in let's say I'm having dinner with family or friends, and I speak a certain way. I joke around. Like I said earlier, I'll make like all types of jokes that maybe push the line a little bit. But when we start talking to me about trading, it's like something happens where I'm speaking with a different tonality, different seriousness. There's like a different, I can't explain it. It's like something takes over here. All the years of training take over. How do I talk to you when I'm serious with you? You could hear that I'm serious. I'm like, telling you, man, listen, this is the way this is going to go. You need to do this, 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 and that, right? It's not such a friendly conversation. It's very direct. Some people don't like that, right? Some people, they get like taken aback. It's too much for them. Then you shouldn't be in this industry.
Exactly, because private is private and business is business.
Exactly. So for your friends, I would say, I think it's dumb to have somebody who's willing to help you, has shown results. There's no such thing as long-term luck in this. You could have got lucky with one trade. You don't stay top of a company for weeks and also make that much money with multiple withdrawals. And again, it's not your first time and you were handling live and funded. You don't do all that by accident. That is something that you had to have a lot of emotional control there, which they probably don't have, which is why they keep losing. I've always told people, if you're emotionally imbalanced in this space, you're destined to fail. So anybody who's like that, it's just common sense, man. There's going to be good. You can't go too high with the good. There's going to be bad. You can't go too low with the bad. You got to live right here, right in the middle. And if you can't do that and you're getting pissed off or you're getting super excited, destined to fail. Destined to fail. Yes. So I would say that, man. Let them know. My experience speaks loudly, and you need to no embarrassment. You said it in the beginning, right? And I mean, people might not agree, but I don't give a fuck. You have to be able to humble brag and let people know who you are. There are different ways of doing that. Personally, I believe the best way isn't to like show people all this flashy shit and tell people how good you are. Show them. How do you do that? Results. Did you do that? 100%. So if people don't listen to you, you're not the problem. The problem is them, that they're not ready to listen. They like losing. They like struggling. They like being confused. This is the other part. They like making believe that what they're doing is going to give them results, even though all we have is no results. You understand? So you're doing it right.
No, thank you for your words.
Nah, you're welcome, man. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to say?
No, I'm okay.
Bro, I'm proud of you, man. Again, I'm gonna say it as many times as I need to say it. $166,000. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm so happy that we did this pod. Listening to you, hearing some of the things that we talk about a lot in the community. You're saying it with such flow. It's part of who you are now. I'm not saying that what I do is perfect, but you can see the positive that it has on people, and honestly, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to hear somebody saying, and because like you said, you don't speak English as a first language, so everything you're saying, it came from somewhere. And I'm just happy to see that you were able to use the content in the community. You were able to survive the hardest part of trading, which is the beginning. Those beginning years are tough. And look at you now, man. I imagine that we're going to be speaking again. We're going to do this again. I see a lot of good things in your future. I've told you this before. I tell people all the time, if I tell you that you can do something in this industry, I really believe it, right? Because I don't say that to everybody. It's not something I say to sign people up. It's something about the person. Like I said, up here, if you don't have this right, if you're all over the place up here, you're highly emotional, you're very like angry, always wanting to argue. You know what I notice a lot? People who do this on social media, people who argue a lot on social media, heavy into stuff like that, they don't do well. They don't do well because imagine if words can get you riled up, right? If things can get you emotional, what's the money in the market going to do to you?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's it, man. I'm proud of you, bro, and I'm looking forward to future conversations because I know that you're gonna. This is just the beginning for you, bro.
Coming from you, it's like means really, really a lot. Coming for really, really coming for you because like I know who you are, you know. So coming for you, you were like a real person. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to talk shit. So coming for you, it means a lot, and I'm very, very thankful that like I have you in my in my trading journey. Like really,
Bro.
my life
The
all
feel the
around. Like,
the feeling is mutual, man. All right. So we'll talk and blessings to you and your family, man. Enjoy your little break, bro, and we'll be talking soon.
work to be back soon.
Take
Thank
it
you.
easy, brother.
Ciao, ciao.
All right.
Should I just get in now?